Hey, this is Fly Guy the Third. Fly Guy the Third. I was recording on something else, and I was I was talking for 9 minutes, and it kind of messed me up because I'm sitting there like, wait, where's the OBS screen? Like, oh, Nani? Like it. I'm telling you, if Jordan Peele needs another person to have the eyes to like scare people or something, I'm your boy. I was rambling for 9 minutes. Not rambling, but it was, organized rambling. And what I was saying was, this episode is brought to you by Lupin the Third, inspired by. I was saying it was the list that I made last time. I'm just going to, each one, I'm just going to give a summary. It's going to be like a catchy thing. Like a title that's dealing with the anime that I'm going to give a summary of. And then, some other stuff later on in the podcast while I'm talking. But let me give you a summary. No, you know what? Yeah, let me give you a summary. Then I'm going to dive into the usual, health check. And then I'm going to dive into the anime that's inspiring today's episode. So, Lupin the Third. Lupin. That's how they pronounce it. You know, French people, they got that. It sounds like they got peanut butter in their mouth. No offense. But when it comes to understanding, how languages sound, it has to make sense to you in a way that you understand it so you kind of get it better. So when you want to say like, when you want to try and speak a language, you want to try and get not to be an asshole, but you want to try to mimic it. Like, mimic it in gibberish. So when you have to say un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, like something like something like that. So anyway, Lupin, the grandson of the fictional gentleman thief Arsène Lupin, is considered the world's greatest thief, known for announcing his intentions to steal valuable objects by sending a calling card to their owners. His right-hand man and best friend is Daisuke Jigen, an expert marksman who can accurately shoot a target in 0.3 seconds. Although Lupin and Jigen frequently work as a two-man team, they are often joined by Geomon Ishikawa, the 13th, a master swordsman, whose sword can cut anything, and Fujiko Mine, a femme fatale and Lupin's love interest. Although Fujiko usually works together with the others, she occasionally exploits Lupin's interest in her to steal the treasure for herself. Lupin and his gang are constantly chased by Interpol Inspector Zenigata, who has made it his life's work to arrest them, pursuing Lupin across the globe. That's the summary now. Before I dive into today's anime, health check. Spiritual. I gotta explain it again. But spiritual health. I'm cool. I'm good. Spiritual base, right? Everybody's got a spiritual base, except for atheists. But then, I don't know. Atheists, I thought they just didn't believe in God. I guess they don't believe in anything, but why not believe in yourself, But anyway, not only do I believe in myself, but I believe in God, and I also believe in Yahshua. I started calling Jesus Yahshua because that's what his name is. And you know how, certain Europeans get? They like to change stuff over, right? They like to alter history just the way they like it. So I call him Yahshua. And I stick with God. And I pray to God, and I pray to Yahshua. And I thank them for a lot of stuff. I pray not just for me, but I pray for family and friends and for you, whoever you are out there. If you don't want to pray, that's cool. I'm going to pray for you anyway. If you want to pray, but you don't know what to say, I'm going to pray for you anyway. I got you covered, big dog. Dogette. I don't know. I just include everybody in prayer just because, it's the right thing to do. And some people don't know. Even me, I don't know what to say every day. Sometimes I reiterate some of the same stuff, and I think that sometimes I feel like maybe it's a bad thing, but then other times I'm like, listen, and it's like, some people don't say anything. Some people don't know what to say. Some people miss, which is okay to miss, saying a prayer every once in a while. It's fine. It's not, you're not going to get struck by lightning or nothing. I just like to keep it consistent with giving thanks. And usually it's right before I eat something. because that's like when you really like intaking something. And yeah, spiritual health is cool. Physical health, cool. Back to my 5 days a week instead of the 4. I was slacking because I went on vacation a couple weeks ago, visiting family, go up in Charlotte, and I only did 1 day that week because that whole week I was up there, not working out. I came back, I was doing like 4 days, but I'm getting my body, getting it right back to. You see the vein? Oh, I'm forgetting it's the right way. I was about to say, you see the vein coming in right there? I work hard for that, okay? I work hard for that. Me, I built this brick by brick. Okay. Yo, for some reason, I think I have to work on my camera settings for this because I feel like when it records, it's not like it's too. It does the 30-second thing. No, it says 60 frames per second. So I don't. Maybe 30 frames per second would have been better. That's all. I'm still learning OBS even now. If you notice and you've been watching, you see how long it took me to actually get a background for me to, and this comes up every time. But anyway, physical health, cool. The one thing doctors always talk about with me at the VA hospital is like kidney stuff, but it's not like super serious. They just be like, yo, like, you kind of like your kidneys could be better. They could be worse, but they definitely could be better. And I think my thing was just like, I work out a lot. I used to not drink enough water, and that wasn't doing good for, I'm pushing all this energy, not getting enough water. Especially when I work TSA, I would maybe drink like a bottle or two, because getting relieved was a bitch. Like getting relieved, and then like if I wanted to drink the amount of water I was supposed to, and having to get somebody to come relieve you for the bathroom would take a long time, and then you having to go get your water, and it just wasn't good. Shout out to the people at TSA. But yeah, otherwise than that, physical health is good. Mental health, because men's mental health awareness. Even though people said fuck it, you know how society goes. Society, for some reason, tells men how to feel, what to do, what role you're supposed to be in. It's not going to be a segment of, oh, whoa, it's me, I'm a man. But, nigga. Like, yo. Dog. Sometimes it gets ridiculous, but I like the life I got. But mental health, it wanes, it goes in and out. Like everybody else. I don't know what I'm doing. I just do stuff, but I don't know what I'm doing necessarily, what I need to do, what I have to do. We have the free will. I believe in that. We have the free will to choose a destiny, but if we kind of don't know, we're unsure, we don't know. That's why I try to do stuff like this. I try to do podcasting. I'm working on streaming a lot more. I just have to, like, the amount of games that I've played, if I could have gotten to streaming a lot earlier, it probably would have been better, because a lot of the games, they're slowing down on games and stuff, and me trying to figure out what platform I want to like stream off of, or having to connect all of them, streaming sometimes on I like to put my stuff on YouTube, but it only works for PlayStation. Xbox doesn't really have the setup to where you can link your YouTube streaming to your Xbox, so you got to do it from Twitch, and like it's a whole thing. Do I want to do it off PC then instead and start streaming stuff on PC? Like, it's PC the master race? There's cheaters on PC. I can never dive into that. But mental health, it's here and there. You feel me? I'm alone, as you can tell. Hopefully, I don't want no. I don't want no unwanted visitors up in here. No spooky stuff. But I am alone a lot. And as much as people want to put up that show, like, well, I like being alone. To an extent, I do like being alone. Okay, I'm an introvert, and I do have social anxiety every now and then. So You know what I mean? It's easier not for me not to talk to people. Be like, oh man, you don't want to talk to me? Whew. But then a part of me is screaming like, yo, can you talk to me, please? That type of battle. But yeah, at times it does get lonely. But I don't want, especially like me trying to find a girlfriend. There's that mental health thing too, because with how society is, it's a whole lot of back and forth. Oh, you got to do this, do that. You got to fit this role, but don't fit this role. It's a whole lot of stuff. It's a whole lot of demands. It's a lot going on, and it's like, why are y'all making it so difficult? But at the same time, I am lonely, but I don't wanna have a companion for the wrong reason. Just because I'm lonely. Like it has to be because I like that person, I love that person, I want them to actually, be in my life. But mental health wise, I'm okay. I'll say I'm okay. I'm not in the danger zone yet. Climbing to the I'll let you sing that part. But yeah, that's the chat. Spiritual, physical, mental. We're like this, okay? Wading the waters. Look at how I gotta fix it. Even my hand, it's got a blur effect. I'll promise you I'll fix it. I done bought this webcam. It's supposed to be an HD webcam. It's supposed to be good. Maybe I was getting bullshitted on. I don't know. I'll solve it in time. And since I have organized notes on my phone, let's get back to because I did the title and the health check, but let's get back to Lupin III. Okay, let me get back to this Wikipedia premise. Right? Lupin III, okay? And it's a gentleman thief. Also, it's funny how he's coming from France and was like, you know what? I need to make a pit stop over to Japan, and just had a family in Japan. It's like, oh look, it's Lupin III. So, going off of that first one, where Lupin, known for announcing his intentions to steal valuable objects by sending a calling card to their owners. Basically, he's telling you ahead of time, like, yo, you got that. It's like somebody like, yo, you got your console, right? Like, yo, you got that Xbox, that special edition Xbox. I'm going to take it from you. That's all. Just sending you somebody just sending you a text out of nowhere. I know you got that, I don't know, that Halo edition Xbox. I'm coming to take it. And then you look around, like, wait, what? The hell you mean? Like, you gonna take my Xbox? Oh, no, I'm gonna put it on lockdown. Like, yo, you ain't never gonna get this Xbox. And what Lupin does every episode, like telling you, like showing you, like, yo, this is my goal. Like, you know what? Like pure. Hold on. Cheers to you guys. It's good. Sweet wine is overrated. That shit gives you more of a headache. Hard wine hits that corazon. Okay. But Lupin, in antagonist fashion, tells you his plan ahead of time. And then protagonist fashion, usually when they tell you the plan, it's like, oh, okay, I know how to stop it. Well, since the roles are reversed and the antagonist is the protagonist, he telling you the plan, and you know what? He's going to get away with it. How is he going to get away with it? This dude, Lupin, will do anything from... It's to the point where either A, he's already taken it, and that Xbox is a fake. And when you go through the whole thing of trying to guard your Xbox and be like, hey, we foiled his plan. And you go back to try to cut it on, and it falls apart because it's Legos. Like, how did that happen? They go to tell you, like, oh, he dressed up as one of your friends, came over to kick it. Or he sent Fujiko over there to work her magic on you, switch it out while y'all was doing whatever. And then that's how he got it. So that's most of his stuff. He'll already get away with it. He'll dress up as somebody. He's already gotten there days ahead. And then he'll send a card like, yo, I'm coming to steal that. So then they put up more of a barrier, like, oh nah, he ain't never gonna steal from me. And he actually does wind up stealing. That's Lupin. And he's the mastermind at that. When it comes to putting on these disguises and stuff, that's the mastermind. And I'm telling you, there has to be somewhere. Oda has gotten heavily inspired by this. He has to have. Heavily inspired. Arsene Lupin was the captain, but he's the captain. He's got like this whole like monkey type of like characteristic or persona. Monkey D. Luffy, like, you know. But like I said, he's a captain. He's got this special gift where he's able to just get himself out of certain situations. It's a powerful gift too. And his so you got Lupin, captain. This one, the right hand man category, you can either put with, you know, that being Zoro, him just sticking with him the whole way, or you can just him having a marksman is the Usopp role. It's just, I like to think of it as Jigen is like a bit of Zoro, and it's like Zoro's badassery with Usopp's marksmanship. Put it that way. He's an expert marksman who accurately shoot a target in 0.3 seconds. You know how fast 0.3 seconds is? Like, your thought, like, you thinking of something, even me talking right now, like, me going me, he already shot something. He shot your ass. He is the slick Western gunman. He's Han Solo shooting the guy that's trying to shoot him. He shoots first. Okay. So he's the gunman. Then you got Geomon, who is the master swordsman who can cut anything. So you got a marksman, you already got your captain with that special gift, and now you got a swordsman. You know what I mean? And then you've got Fujiko, who is the like gold digger, the femme fatale. She's the face. She uses her womanly charm to get around certain things. She is all about the treasure, and if it comes to it, she gonna choose that treasure over Lupin and the gang. But she's always gonna come back to Lupin and the gang too, so it's kind of a weird relationship. But again, Fujiko Mine is pretty much like damn, my do-rag coming apart. Fujiko Mine is pretty much like Nami. Even down to like the different colored hair. Sometimes Fujiko has red hair, sometimes brown, but you know, she got the hair. All about the treasure. All about the treasure. Before Nami was like heavily about the treasure because she had to try and like get the Arlong pirates to not, you know, fuck up her village, even though they was doing it anyway. Luffy and them took care of that, but she's still like very, you know, treasure centric. But again, you got the four right there, and the other ones you got like Chopper the Doctor, and you got Sanji Cook, and you got Robin, and all these other like roles you can just throw in if you wanted to, but that's just to fit the whole pirates needing a pirate crew thing. But otherwise than that, the base four, you got it covered. So Lupin the Third. And what I'm trying to think, because each one of these I want to take something away from it. How do you take away something that is a gentleman thief that's always getting away and stick? I guess I don't know. Never count yourself out. Lupin never counts himself out, and I think maybe once or twice he hasn't gotten his goal, I think, but majority of the time he gets it. Whatever he's after, he gets it. But I guess, never count yourself out. Never count yourself out. Always have a good team. That's pretty much it. That's all I can get from a Lupin. I call that Lupin in life. Now, since we've done anime, this one might be, what's crazy? This one might be a short episode. Yeah, this one might be a short episode. Because I was thinking about it, and that's one of the things where me coming up with topics, trying to discuss certain topics, it's about having something to go either in depth about, or like, just my thing I like to do is to just live life, have the topics organically come up to me, and then I'll talk about them, bring them to the podcast. I try to make it an hour long, or sometimes it'll go over. That's cool. That works for me. Maybe when I have like even though I'm the main character is allowed to have other main characters with them. So if I extend it to having other main characters, and that's cool. Otherwise than that, I figure out certain topics. It's a one-man show until it becomes a multi-people show. And what else could I? You know what? What else do I want to talk about with Lupin? Because I got the Wikipedia up, and this coming out in night. What I am doing too is, instead of me going back and watching shows over again, what I do is I just watch summaries. And there's people on YouTube that give out good detailed summaries of like either all episodes or all arcs. So I don't have to go back and watch it, because I still get that feeling. Because if I've watched it, like Dragon Ball Z, I'm not going back to watch all of Dragon Ball Z, but I will watch summaries just to like bring up, memories of the episodes, or bring up information maybe I forgot, or maybe if I'm on track. And then what I'm doing is to see if I'm bugging, all right, about certain anime. Like, am I off? Like, was this as good as what I thought? When it comes to Lupin, was it as good as I thought? It's a mix. Because what's funny, what I found out with one of the summaries, the guy was saying that early on, Lupin he was a thief. So, he was a cutthroat thief. So it was a lot going on, stuff that wouldn't be accepted today. And one of the things too was it being heavy-handed with like, he's gonna kill people to get what he wants. So of course they kind of took the approach of, hey, let's not do that, because at that time, especially 1971, or that's my Xbox trying to go off. Especially growing up, if you grew up, I'm 33, so if you grew up like my age or older and you liked anime, it's animation, so it was seen as cartoon, it was seen as something for kids. And with Lupin being animated, like, oh, this is supposed to be for kids, but you got Lupin and the gang offing people, or having like, sexual acts going on, this and that. So they had to tone it down so that way kids could watch it too. And the funny thing is, it brought on two people. I don't know the other person, but one of the people was Miyazaki, the dude that's responsible for a lot of Studio Ghibli stuff, for all the Studio Ghibli stuff, all the legendary Studio Ghibli movies. And that, I was like, wait a minute, oh snap. And when they show you like, okay, for that first season, for that first Lupin, it takes that switch and he lightens it up, and not only lightens it up, but cuts back on pretty much all of the killing that goes on, and it makes for a more entertaining type of cartoon that you can share with kids, or adults can watch too. That was dope. Now it was just for that season. I think maybe an episode here or there. Miyazaki came back and helped them out. But otherwise than that, it was just for that first season or the first part, because there's 6 parts, and he's got a different jacket for each part usually. But I think parts 4, 5, and 6, he's got the same color jacket. That was one of the dope things. Each part he would have a different one. He would have a red one, a green one, a pink one, and then for I think 4, 5, and 6, it's blue. So he's got a blue jacket this time. It kind of helps you like, oh, what era is it? Oh, it's the blue jacket era. This is red jacket era. And I'm not gonna lie, if you wanted to catch on to it and you didn't want to go that far back, like, oh, I don't want to go back that far because of animation, I like, current animation, then just watch parts 4, 5. You could watch part 3. I think part 3 came out like mid 2000s. But if you wanted something a little more up to date, 4, 5, and 6. I'm mad my thumb popped up. Yo, that's stupid. Well, parts 4, 5, and 6. You can go ahead and watch those. Those will be good. What else was revealed? No, that's pretty much all I had for. And I'm surprised I had that much to say about Lupin. But yeah, I'm going through summaries, and Lupin was a summary that I watched. Fullmetal Alchemist is another one. I'll talk about that one. They do Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I want people to do Fullmetal Alchemist summary because Fullmetal Alchemist was good. To me, I choose Fullmetal Alchemist over Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood because even though Brotherhood had the manga, it was, word for word, bar for bar for the manga. I liked what they put out the first time. In fact, I love what they put out the first time. It's just them putting out Brotherhood was like, oh, you took from the manga, like, oh, it's nice to see that that's what the manga looks like, but I'm fine with the version I got. I have more connection with the version I got. It's probably a bias, but hey, I like what I got. I like their journey. I like how their journey ended. Chef's kiss. And the good thing about that, and the dope thing about that, I wish a lot of the animes would do that. A lot of the studios would do that. Or it's like, okay, you had this anime, right? It came out, let's say it came out 10 years ago. And during that time, the mangaka didn't finish it. So you guys had to like makeshift an ending. Makeshift probably mid to end content or episodes with filler. Now that it's over, maybe it took them like 2 years later than when it ended to finally finish up the manga. Now that it's been over for a while, come back and actually do bar for bar an anime like the manga. Because what they don't get, what a lot of these, and I'm talking about this is leading into movie theaters dying, but what these DC, Marvel, like even anime in general, what they're not getting is you have the answers. And I think I talked about this before. You have the answers to the test. It's right there. You don't have to guess what setting. You don't have to guess what the characters would say. You don't have to guess how it's supposed to look. You have like that's the storyboard right there. And not even half the battle is done. 3/4 of the battle is done. All you got to do is just put some color and animate it, and you're good. Voice actors, and that's it. Because when we see stuff, it's cool to read it. Reading is one thing. I don't care if you read Harry Potter. Like if you read Harry Potter, it's like, okay, this is dope. But seeing Harry Potter, like actually, like in the movie, in real life, is fire. It's the same with DC Comics. The same with all these stories where they take a story and they're like, man, let's deviate. Let's go this and that. Let's spice it up. Let's do some. No, just I promise you, if you do it like the comic looks, exactly how the comic says. Maybe it's a different era, so you have to like make it to like present day. Fine. But don't like that has to be 10%. Leave 90% of it. I promise you success. Because only 20% of the audience has probably read the comic and knows it line for line. And it'd be like, oh snap, are they gonna do it exactly how? Like, oh, they did it exactly how it is in the comic book. Oh snap, it looks wonderful. The same thing with manga. Like, oh, that's the part in the me watching MHA. I'm at the end in the manga, so I know how it ends. I'm not gonna say how it ends. I don't want to spoil you guys. I know how it ends, but I like to like I like to see it animated. I've seen the pictures. I've seen it like, oh, this scene looks dope. That's cool and all, but I want to see it animated. Like I want to see Deku fighting Shigaraki. Like I want to see Shoto versus Dabi. I want to see these things because seeing it brings it to a whole nother level. Like, yeah, I know what's going on, but to see it now puts the picture in my head and it's just dope. DC needs to learn from that. Stop experimenting. Just take from the comic book, and I have a hate for how they're treating DC because DC could have been as good, if not better, than Marvel. Because when you look at the top 3 superheroes that people go to, it's usually Batman, Superman, Spider-Man. Who's the ones that's easy to make movies about? Most of the time, it's Batman, Spider-Man. DC could have did the same thing they did with Marvel, the same thing they could have did with DC. Marvel had Iron Man, then you had the Hulk, which was supposed to connect, but he didn't want to do it because of creative differences, whatever. But cool. What was it? Iron Man, the Hulk, and then I think you had Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man 2, and then you had the Avengers. Like, it took about 4 or 5 movies, and then you got to the Avengers. These mugs made Superman, then they made Superman versus Batman, killing off Superman already. He just got here. Superman, Batman versus Superman, then you had the Justice League. Like, yo, you could have had Superman versus Batman later on as some type of point. Just like how they had Civil War. Yo, they could have took from it. Just like how they had Civil War later on. Movies later. They could have did the same thing with Batman versus Superman. It could have been something to where, listen, Batman doing his thing, Superman doing his thing. And the kind of way that it went, what they were taking from the Dark Knight was like, yo, excuse me, Batman was taking care of criminals his way, but he was being a little more edgy. And the president was like, hey, yo, you kind of got to put a stop to him because he's doing the most and we can't have that. So then it became that. When they had this big battle, Batman with Prep Time, because he's the Prep Time king, was putting the beats on Superman. And of course, it was something to where Superman could have killed Batman, but he didn't want to. And Batman was showing like, yo, just like you can kill me, nigga, I can kill you too. But I don't want to. Not only is it not my thing to kill, but it's, yo, if you push me, I can also get to you, nigga. I know your weakness. I know you inside and out. I've gotten all data on everybody. I know how to do this. I have things set in place already just in case any one of y'all want to act out. Speaking of that, they could have had, you had the Superman movie, you could have had a Batman movie. Throw the Wonder Woman thing in there. Maybe have like a a world's finest with Batman and Superman having a rough patch, not going against each other, having a rough patch and working together, and realizing that maybe they need to be part of a team, and Batman being like, you know what, I'll think about it. Having a Flash movie, and maybe the Flash teaming up with Wonder Woman in some aspect, and then them, like, there's a scene where they gotta come together for something, or the Green Lantern, like, you see like something in the background, and or you could have the Green Lantern thing show up, because you need 5 main members. The other ones you can just bring in every now and again, but Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter you can bring in for just like how they did in the cartoon. That's why I say, yo, y'all got all the answers and y'all decided to just shit on everything. You tried to play catch up to something that already was leagues ahead of you, and you gassed yourself out. But these comics, like, yo, the comics have it. They got the pictures, they got the words. We just want to see it. That's it. Because majority of us haven't seen a comic. We've heard of the characters. There are other people that read the comic for us on YouTube. Thank God for them. And they explain to us what's going on currently. And the ideas sound dope. But that's just 20% of the people that may read the comic book. Maybe even 15. So then you got 75% to 80% of the people that only know slight information and just want to see maybe their favorite superhero up on a big screen. And all you got to do, not only that, all you got to do is put it on the screen. They gonna love it. And when people go through it, like the nerds they are, like, yo, this is from this story, then they try to incorporate this from this story, then people are going to go to that comic story. They may even go try to buy that comic book. One hand is feeding the other, but Cha refuse. Put me in charge. I'm telling you right now, I know the YouTubers to go get, and I know exactly how to do this thing. You ain't even gotta guess, because there are stories that have story arcs. You want to follow a story arc that includes specific members, then the Justice League, then specific members, Justice League again. You can do that all day. It just pisses me off, because Marvel did it, but Marvel's starting to fall off. They didn't have to, but they're starting to fall off. DC should have been the next one up. Now, James Gunn, is he going to bring some different energy? We're hoping. We don't know. We're hoping. We know his idea that he has, but he's going with, like, of course he's going with Superman, but he's also going with, like, niggas that nobody knows. It was different when Marvel did it with Iron Man. Iron Man, he wasn't as popular, but niggas knew who he was. With what James Gunn is trying to do with, like, Creature Commandos and some other type, just using, like, a bunch of these, like, people in the background, and they kind of look like people that we want to act, the ones we want to actually see. Like, dog, just give the people what they want. Just give them a little fan service. Give the people what they want. And then when you want to experiment and be like, oh, but there's these superheroes, have them be like the B team superheroes or something. Or something happens to the Justice League and these ones step up. And then it's like Justice League Unlimited. Yo, dog, it pisses me off every time. If I'm a casual, okay? We like to throw that around. If I'm a casual person, I'm not even casual, because I don't know as much as the people that make content on this, but I know a good amount. If I'm, above casual, or above average, above casual, and I know this stuff, y'all should have some people. Y'all and y'all want to make money. I understand that. Get your money, but y'all don't know how to go about getting the money. Y'all are fucking up the, you know what I mean? Y'all are fucking up the business. Y'all fucking up the money. That's why y'all say, oh man, we put too much money into this or that, or this isn't gonna work. That's because you ain't got the right people, man. I'm gonna drink some water to that. And I'm gonna drink some wine to that too. I like to hydrate. That's good juice. I could go on a rant about that for a minute, but I don't want to. You know what? This is the perfect time too, but I already did it. If I wanted to go into further detail, I'd probably do it. But I want to get to leading to movies. Going to the movies is dead. Okay? It's dying. Listen. Movies aren't dying. Going to the movie theaters, the whole experience is dying. Mind you, it's fire. But of course, pandemic changed a lot of things. Understandable. Streaming really boomed because nobody could go anywhere. You had to have like something going on, and then that's when HBO Max was popping up, Netflix was really popping off, Hulu, all these like Paramount and stuff like that. Cool, get your coin. Because when it came time to go back to theaters, people was like, well, I paid a subscription. Actually, like, what, $5, $7, sometimes $20 a month. And I got a whole bunch of movies I could watch. Like, I got a surround sound. I got my couch. I can go get me some Orville Redenbacher popcorn and a blanket. Shit, I have like 5 people in here. And we Gucci. We sitting down enjoying the movie. And that right there, when you think about cost, so no matter how little or how much gas you spend, it depending on where you're at. Because if you're in a big city, you're upstate in like, the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, stuff like that. It's not going to be no local one nearby. You got to actually go. Sometimes, take the bus, you take the bus, but that's still fare that you got to spend. If you're driving your car, and it's going to take you a minute to get there. It's going to take you like 30 minutes, depending on where you live at. Sometimes it take you an hour, depending on if you want to get the good movie theaters with the recliner seats and the food that you get to order that comes to you. That's some first world shit. Those are fly. And you get the little alcohol with you. Be like, oh, damn, I'm really about to enjoy this movie. Or you're about to go to sleep because you're lightweight. But it'll take you there, right? That's a little bit of gas money. Not a lot. A little bit of gas money. But even now, gas prices are a little crazy. So when I say a little, it means something. Every little bit count. A little dab will do you. Not only that, you get there, you're spending money on the ticket. You don't want to see the regular one, right? Sometimes you want to go for the IMAX. The IMAX be like 20 a head. And a lot of people don't like to go by themselves, so they'll go with like some people. If you got family, then that's $80 right there. You trying to go to 4D movies and stuff like that, it's gonna up and Adam ant. And you ain't even get in. You just bought the tickets and stuff for the movie. You're gonna be hungry in it. You want a little something to snack on, so you get you some popcorn, and you get you some popcorn. It probably, it costs you a couple of dollars. You want something to drink because the popcorn be salty. That's gonna cost a couple more dollars. Maybe you like sweets too, because people just be getting the most at the movie theaters. Unless of course you a G. You know what I mean? You had your stuff in the tuck, or you had your lady or man. Keep it in the bag. Bring it out when the time was right. So you ain't got to spend your money on that on those snacks. But sometimes, they be having sometimes little pizzas be hitting. There's a lot of calories, but they still be hitting. The little pretzels with the little cheese dip, that should be fire. The nachos with the cheese dip, not so much. It's something to snack on, but not so much. Those pretzels with the cheese dip, that's big back that's big back activity right there, okay? And I'll sacrifice a day for that, okay? I will work hard in the gym that whole week to get me some of them little heated up, salted ass pretzels with the not good for you cheese dip. They put like 50,000 chemicals in there just to get it to look like that. But anyway, that's gonna cost you and then the ride back home. So you got a family, you done spent damn near over 100. If you don't got a family, it's just like maybe you and the person you came with or a couple of friends. Everybody pay for their own, but I'm talking about all together. You spending a lot of money already versus you. Maybe the movie finally came out home video, for you to rent or buy. You want to buy it $20 so you can see it again and again as much as you want. or you want to rent it, it'll be like $14 and you can have people over, or you might just wait for it to come on streaming service. Most of the time, it's either going to come to Netflix or it's going to come to Max. So you gonna play the waiting game. You just gonna wait to hear. So movie theaters are dying between the prices. People are already trying to charge you an arm and a leg just to live. Now to enjoy life, you also gotta pay an arm and a leg. No. Movie theaters are done to an extent. They're not completely done, but they're not gonna be like they used to be. There's probably gonna be more closures. You're only gonna have like one movie theater, so people that really want to go see the movie, when you have a movie, even though it could be like a Netflix movie, if they want to have a big premiere for it, then of course you have the actors and stuff show up. You have select people that buy the tickets to watch it with the actors, almost like you're paying for a concert or something to go to watch the movie, that stuff. But otherwise than that, movie theaters are done. And the movie industry, so only because, not just movie, but movie television, it's maybe the ideas they're not cashing in on, or they're running out of ideas, which is the case. They're running out of ideas, to safely say. Because once you bring it back old ass people to come into these movies. You're trying to have another Rocky. Remember when Sylvester Stallone it was like, yo, you really didn't have the one where he got his ass beat. You didn't have to have him back, but you did. I like how they took it over with Apollo, but you can only do Apollo for so long. Indiana Jones, they really brought back Harrison Ford to do another Indiana Jones. His old ass, even though, yo, that's the guy that's Han Solo. Come on, dude, pass the torch. Pass that to Lara Croft. Pass it to Tomb Raider, okay? You could have had a crossover. You could have Indiana Jones, Lara Croft crossover. You could have had, if you had chose a different actor. Tom Holland is cool. Tom Holland's my boy. That's Spider-Man. He did a good Spider-Man. He's not the number one, but he did a good Spider-Man. But what was Uncharted? Uncharted could have been the next Indiana Jones. You could have had a trio. You could have just had a big thief first or something like that. Ties back to Lupin the Third. Y'all could do Lupin the Third. You could do Lupin the Third as something. You could have had Uncharted and Lupin crossover. You could have had Tomb Raider and Uncharted crossover. Shit, you could have a race to get the item, and you could have had Indiana Jones, somebody taking over a new Indiana, just like they do 007. You could have did a new Indiana Jones, just a new person that is Indy. You don't have to have it a continuation of the same thing. All right. The 007 movies, it's a continuation if it's the same person, but when it's a new person, it's a different 00. They could probably do the same thing for Mission Impossible, although I kind of can't see it without Tom Cruise. He's just Mr. Mission Impossible, okay? But you can have these movies, like create another Indiana Jones, but name it something else. You know? You do Uncharted the right way. Do Tomb Raider the right way. They're doing Star Wars. Star Wars is starting out. I get what some people are saying because it's starting out mid. It's also cliche, but this is, you know what? To the new people, not the new people, to the younger people that haven't seen as many movies, they're gonna go, oh snap, what are they gonna go with? Because we have seen so many movies, and we being like, let's put the age range. Let's say once you're 27 and up, you've seen enough movies to where you've seen the same trope a couple of times. So movies, you can kind of predict where they're going to go. Like, oh, this person is really not going for this. They're not going for A. They're going for B. A is just the ploy. Like, oh, this person's friend is not really his friend. He's going to double turn on him. Stuff like that. You can guess the movie and it's like, oh, okay, I see where they're going. And that's what like a lot of the people who are in my age range, or like I said, 28 and up, they see what's about to happen. Yeah, it's kind of boring. I can see younger people being, oh, this is kind of cool. Uh, Minor spoiler alert, okay? Or I'm just gonna talk about the first episode, okay? So spoiler alert for Acolyte episode 1. Go watch it because it's still good. It's not bad, but it's not like, oh snap. Like it's like, oh, okay. Let me see how they're cooking. So far as they're cooking, the heat is on a medium temperature. Maybe even it's on simmer. They're heating it up just a little bit, just to give you like enough heat to melt the butter. I'll say that. So they're melting butter. They're not trying to let the butter pop. They're trying to get the butter to melt inside this pan that we call this show. Just to, you know what I mean? Just to make sure everything is getting greased up real nice. So that way when things get popping, when we got to put the steak in there and all that. I'm getting hungry, as you can tell. But they're having that slow burn. It's the build up, establish the story, establish this person going after the Jedi. Why are they going after the Jedi? What are they tied to between her and the Jedi, or the sisters and the Jedi? Why is it these four? Why were they at that planet? Why are they surprised that such and such did this? Why did one person leave? Why does one person still have these dreams? Who's the mysterious person? Stuff like that. So they're slowly cooking. And what I've heard from other people is that in episodes 3 and 4 it starts to pick up, which is about right. But it is a slow, building up the story, building up the beginning story a little bit. And people do have to have patience. That's another thing with movies. I seen someone talking about, people are starting to be more in favor of our movies because they don't want to sit down too long. Because now people have attention spans the size of a pea. It's on to the next. Like, oh, that looks cool next. Oh, that looks cool next. It's almost like dogs. Whenever they see a car and then like it's going a different direction, they look at the other car, try to chase it. Oh, car's going a different direction. They're just like chasing the car back and forth. It's starting to be bad. It's not just because of TikTok, okay? Because TikTok didn't have video. They made it easily to swipe up stuff, but YouTube had stories. Instagram had stories. Facebook had stories. So you had stories where you could like get to the next one readily. YouTube, some people would have shorter stuff, like videos, so you didn't have to really pay attention to it. Now, the short attention spans, it kind of goes with anime too, because some of the anime, like you go from then to now, the story buildup isn't necessarily the same. Before, there's stories would kind of take a minute, or you would get a little bit of action and you get some story. The action would build up later. Now they're trying to have it to where people fighting off the bat. You'd be like, yo, what's going on? Like, why are they fighting? Like, oh, snap. Like, oh, why are they throwing punches? Like, explain a little bit, keep it going. Explain a little bit, keep it going. So you got to do it like that. Almost like CoComelon. CoComelon. You've heard of CoComelon. Have you seen an episode of CoComelon? Just real quick. You see how it can grab the baby's attention, because every 2 to 3 seconds, they switch the angle. It's like, oh, they're doing this, switch to this angle, switch to this angle, switch to this angle, switch to this angle, switch to this angle. So they're like, oh. It's like the ping pong effect. Like, and it's quickly going. You're just watching. You're just like, oh snap. And then once it's done, you're like, oh wow, that was good. No, they just kept switching the angle, so that way you'd be more interested. It was like doing one thing while giving you something else to do, or like it's harder than that to explain. It's pretty much in that sense. I like an hour and a half movies. Hell, I like 2 hour movies. I want to see everything that you got for this. I don't mind sitting there, but I guess the next generation of people kind of want shorter films. Shit, they might start selling for TV shows. But people like to binge TV shows anyway, so I don't know. Listen, movie theaters, man, rest in peace. It's good too. And I remember the dopest thing was when they started putting 3D movies. People don't think about it much, but damn, I have to have an old nigga moment. When they first started rolling out 3D stuff, I remember the first time was when there was a special episode of America's Funniest Home Videos on ABC, and they were having the 3D episode. And what it was they had the they had the they had the advertisement for it. They had the advertisement for the special 3D episode that was gonna come out like next week for America's Funniest Home Videos. And if you, I think it was like a certain cereal box, then they had the prizes in cereal boxes, man. Bring that back. Don't bring it back, but bring it back. They had it inside the thing. It was wrapped up. So once you had the cereal box, you would take it out, and you had 3D glasses. And of course, they had the red and the blue right there. And when it was time for the episode to come on, they would tell you like, yo, now put your glasses on. When you didn't put your glasses on, of course they had it set up to where there's an outline of red, an outline of blue that's supposed to cross over when you put the glasses on, because how your eyes work, it would make it pop out. And I put it on, I was like, oh snap. Yo, these plastic ass glasses that literally had some like see-through wax paper that was red and blue, and just some paper glasses that went over your ears. And when that came together and the TV, like I think one of the things was he opened up a can of like, the peanut can that has like the fake snakes in it, and popped out, and it looked like it came off the TV a little bit. I was like, oh snap. Yo. That was so dope. And when they started bringing it to movies and you could watch the whole movie in 3D, now they got 4D movies. That is worth it in movie theaters. Something that has 4D. They're gonna have to do something like that. Whenever a movie comes out, they're gonna have to have a new norm be 4D movies. Especially the big action movies where something's going down. The seats move. If they're flying or something and they open the hangar door, like the breeze gotta come through. Somebody's punching or something, like the seats really gotta move or start punching your back, or like your seats like shift a little bit. It almost has to be like you have to have a roller coaster ride and a movie all in one. Pay me, okay? Pay me. Pay me. I got you. Yo, my do-rag is... I thought I said it the way it was supposed to. I was trying to set it up just like a Konoha Ninja. It ain't working out. Who? Now that got me thinking, who had a dope do-rag during Naruto? I'm gonna have to look that up. That's gonna be the blackest thing I'm gonna see, but I'm gonna have to look it up, okay? And surprisingly, yo, I was talking about trying to have content for an hour at least. Your boy found a way. When there's a will, my God, there's a way. I was gonna talk about game streaming, which I can still talk about it. Gaming streaming. I'm trying to figure that out too. I'm trying to figure out, it's between what console, or if PC gaming, or if I should have all three and just do one each with something. Because not only that, the games that I had, if I would have got to streaming early and played these games on stream, it probably would have been better. Now that I've gotten through the good and the bad games off of stream, and it's already past their thing, I might do a thing where I go back and play the games over again, because there's no new games really coming out in Flux. Not like before. That Dragon Ball Z is definitely gonna be hot. That Budokai Tenkaichi. Well, it's not Budokai Tenkaichi, but Sparking Zero. That's gonna be fire. Uh, what else is gonna be fire? I'm tired, just like I used to. What else? Something's coming out. Wukong's supposed to come out. Whatever. I'll take a chance on that. But when something comes out where it's like Dark Souls, like Elden Ring, stuff like that, I don't play it. I'm telling you right now. I have a work meter. And if it keeps going over that threshold, the game is persona no grata for me. The game is persona no grata. I tried Elden Ring. When I tell you I tried Elden Ring, I tried it. Couldn't do it. I deleted it. And it was like, oh, come with me, do this. Bring it back. Hold on, I gotta look this up. Okay, let's go do this. I gotta look this up. Okay, let's go do this. I gotta look this up. Okay, let's do this. I was like, yo, if I have to look up a whole lot of things just to get through a game, like if there's a mission that I'm not clear on and I gotta beat it, that's one thing. If I gotta keep looking up shit just to play a game, I don't want to play it. That takes all the fun out of it. I don't like to look up stuff when I'm playing a game because I like to keep it old school. A lot of the games before, I never had no guides for it. I never looked up the internet for it, especially when it came to stuff like Kingdom Hearts and shit. I didn't know how to beat Sephiroth. I just had to go level up and try to do it on my own, or to get a lot of the stuff on my own, get certain spells on my own. I like that because it's my choices, me having to go search and do stuff. If a game has to cause me to search everything, and then on top of that is giving me work after work after work after work after work, you got me. I'm good on that. The only one that was giving me work was that I liked was Wolong. Wolong's fire, but we pushed through that. Shout out to Lu Bu. Lu Bu was the hardest boss in that game. I don't care what anybody says. Lu Bu is the hardest boss in that game. And I'm talking about the first time you fight Lu Bu, when he's on his horse. Not when he does the whole merge thing. When he's on his horse. And then doing it on normal, trying to go back and do it on hard, damn near impossible. But is that game, Hades. Hades was one of the ones I was like, yo, I don't like the main thing being like, yo, you will die. But this one was like, you die, you still get you get your coins up, you come back, like you're learning as you're going, you die, you come back, you do a little better each time. That one, it was fun too, so I didn't mind that. This shit, the Elden Ring, and you can keep that. I'll watch people play it, no problem. I don't care. But I will start streaming gaming content more for whatever I'm playing. I started playing X Defiant. X Defiant is wonky. I really don't agree with it, but I you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to try to record my Twitch. When I stream on there, I'm gonna have to try to record that, bring it over to YouTube. My voice is cracking. Bring it over to YouTube. And then do it like that. It's gonna have to be like that. But most of my gaming videos are, since I play games live, they're in the live. So go check those out. I only got a couple. I got stuff that I do for some things for X Defiant, and then a lot of it was for Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is pretty cool. All right. It's my jam so far. When they run out of things for me to do, I don't play it. And then when they come out with new seasons and new stuff, then I go back to it. But I am starting to try to download games that I had previously and try to play it, even though some of them kind of suck. Some of the games I have on Xbox, and I got to use Twitch for that. I got to do that, the whole thing with Twitch. Take it over, because I do have Call of Duty on there, but Call of Duty's starting to fall off, or 2K. Sometimes I like to kick it on there and just play the game if I can. Nobody joins now when I'm streaming, but if people do, they say what up or something, I'll try to talk to them while I'm playing. It's easier with games like RPGs or something, but when it's like me in the middle of some shit, like when it's like shooters, I'm gonna look at the comment and be like, oh, okay, and I'll get back to it later. But yeah, I'm gonna work on it. Try to figure out if I need a gaming PC or not. This PC is cool that I have. It was one of those HP Slim desktop. It's pretty good. I was trying to get into computers, but of course I kind of suck. I'm good, but not that good. So a lot of this stuff I don't get. I know this ain't the one to be like doing gaming and streaming and stuff like that. Not off of this. If I want to do like streaming, then, and I'm not gonna get the super expensive one. They have stuff where you see through and you see everything. I don't know all that shit, but I need one that's already built, and it's not gonna be a very expensive one because I'm at the bottom when it comes to this shit. I'm starting from the bottom, starting from the mud. When I get more people, then I'll get, I'll get the more expensive PCs if I can afford it. Okay. But I'm definitely gonna try to do more gaming. People who probably at work and they need something to do or they need something to kill the time. Because a lot of these jobs, like, I'm retired for now, but when it came to working some of these jobs, when it came to working like TSA, or when it came to working like taxi dispatch, or when it came to working like stocker in Walmart, stuff like that, like it's a lot of time. Sometimes when you got downtime and like you can't really get to TV or something, you don't want to watch TV yet, you might hop in and watch somebody play a game or stream, or maybe you're at a job where you're at a desk all day and you can have something like playing right there. You see somebody just kicking it, playing a game, you want to watch it. That's the space I'm trying to fill. Or if I play a game that you haven't played before, then that people want to join me, that's cool too. It's all about building a community. It's a task, but you've always got the time for it. And with that, I want to say thank you to watching it. If you have made it this far, thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, do the whole thing. Help your boy, okay? Fly got a third. Help me get that treasure that I seek so I can get away. And but no, thank you. If you catch on to this episode late, thank you also. God bless you. Or whatever religion. You know what I mean? Whatever higher power, or if you don't believe in higher power, namaste. The light in me recognizes the light in you. I don't know. I don't know what to say. But thank you, and when I record another one of these, get ready for another one of these, okay?